Welcome, and thank you for joining us today for the virtual 130th DAR Continental Congress American Indians Committee annual event. I am Suzanne Heskey, National Chair of the American Indians Committee, and we are so pleased you are able to join us. Today's event is pre-recorded and will be viewable later this month on the DAR Committee webpage. Now please rise for the presentation of the colors, the invocation, and the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome. I am Suzanne Heskey, National Chair of the American Indians Committee, and I would like to extend sincere appreciation to the Chickasaw Honor Guard, under the direction of Ray Orphan, veteran U.S. Marine Corps, as well as the 2019-2021 Chickasaw Princesses for being with us today. We have an exciting event lined up, one which I hope will inspire you as we shine light on DAR's service to Native American communities across the country. The agenda includes greetings from our President General, Denise Doring Van Buren, our Executive Liaison, Cynthia Moody Parnell, Bacone College, Chemawa Indian School, the Indian Youth of America Summer Camp founder and director, and our program speaker, Dennis Downs. Traditionally, the American Indians Committee hosts a Congress event each year, which includes an opportunity to raise funds in support of the committee's mission beyond your generous individual, chapter, and state contributions. As we all have improved our technical skills and capabilities, I'm proud to announce we are hosting an online auction, which opened on Thursday, July 1st at 8 a.m. Eastern and will close tomorrow, Sunday, July 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can view the catalog and bid on more than 60 items generously donated by Daughters and Friends. To bid in the auction, please visit the website shown here on this slide. If shopping is not your thing, please consider making a donation. Your support enables the committee to fund many endeavors on behalf of Native American students and tribal communities. Now I would like to ask our special guest to bring greetings. Madam President General.
Greetings. I hope that you are enjoying all of the events we've put together for you during the 130th Continental Congress, and I know you're going to enjoy this event in particular. My sincere thanks to Suzanne Heskey. Suzanne, of course, serves as our American Indians National Chair. She does so much on behalf of this important committee, and I thank her for that and for inviting me to bring you greetings. It was a full century ago, 1921, that the American Indian Institute in Wichita, Kansas was added to the official list of approved DAR schools. And then by 1940, the American Indians Committee was formally established. So we've been at this work for a century, ladies, and I want to thank you for all that you do to support our Native Americans and all of our various committees within the DAR. Enjoy the event, and I hope to see you next year in person at the 131st Continental Congress.
Thank you. It is a joy to be with all of you for our annual American Indians Committee event. The committee has done so much this past year for Native American schools, students, and programs across the country. My appreciation goes out to President General Denise Van Buren for her unwavering support of this committee, and to National Chair Suzanne Heskey for her steadfast leadership of all aspects of our mission. Thank you, and enjoy today's program.
Yate, good morning. Shay Ferlin Clark, I'm the president of Bacone College. I've been president here for 3 years, and it's been a challenging experience. We were on the brink of closure, and now we're on the precipice of success. We have been serving American Indians for 141 years, and we have been in partnership with the Daughters of the American Revolution since last century, almost 100 years that the Daughters of the American Revolution have been supporting Bacone, and we appreciate the President General Denise Van Buren in coming to Bacone College, our historic campus, toured the campus with other leaders and state officers. We are so thankful for the Daughters of the American Revolution, the gifts to support the Kiva roof, to support a lighting system for our historic art department. For also supporting the renovation of our dormitories, a flag, and fixing our flag pole. The Daughters of the American Revolution continue to support us, and we appreciate that support. We thank you very much. Ahiaha. Hey,
Greetings, National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. I'm Gerald Canoyer, Vice President of Development here at Bacone College. I just want to say thank you for all the continued support that you have given us over these past 75 years. It was a pleasure meeting President General Van Buren when she came to campus, and it was also a pleasure meeting with Sue Allen and Suzanne Heskey. Thank you for always supporting us in all of our projects and your continued support moving forward. Aho, Vitakwe, Oyasi, all my relatives.
Hi, my name is Amanda Ward. I'm the acting superintendent at Chemawa Indian School in Salem, Oregon. And I just want to thank the Daughters of the American Revolution for asking me to address you today. I have been at Chemawa for about 20 years now, and we have been supported all that time by the Daughters of the American Revolution. I am so appreciative for everything that they do for us. We have had things from computer desks to computers to our Christmas party, everything that all of the daughters in the United States provide for the school and students at Chemawa is so appreciated. And we are so excited about receiving a grant and scholarship for our valedictorian this year. Our valedictorian, her name is Florine Johnson, and she received $5,000 from the National Daughters of the American Revolution, and we are so appreciative. She is so excited. She just found out about it, and so she'll get that recognition when we do our graduation on Friday, our virtual graduation. This year has been a really challenging year for us. We miss our kids terribly. We've been doing all of our education remotely. That's been a huge learning curve for our teachers, our students, and we've had mixed reactions, but it was more important to make sure that our students were safe and our students were healthy, and that they weren't traveling all over the country until we could get this whole pandemic thing figured out. We're working on hopefully having our students back this coming fall. That's how we're working. We're assuming that's going to be the case, and we're really excited. We've missed our kids so much. So many things have happened, and we're looking forward to getting them back here in the school and back where we know that they can get a good education. We are probably not sure exactly when that's going to be. I'm hoping that we'll find out here pretty soon. But like I said, we're working towards that end, and right now graduation is Friday the 14th, and then we're off for a week, and then we're doing a short summer school 6-week session for those kids who realized that they probably should have engaged a little better during the school year, and so that they could catch up a little bit on some of their credits and come back to school in the fall ready and at the right grade level. As far as needs that we have, we are always in need for personal supply items, foundations, things like socks, underwear, bras for the girls, things that, they don't necessarily always come with. We are so appreciative for the daughters that have provided sheets and blankets and comforters and pillows and things like that for our kids. That has been amazing. This year, we have been working on starting an agriculture program at our school. We have a little mini farm. We are working on building a barn for our 3 cows now, and 2 of our cows are pregnant and are going to have calves here in September. So we're needing a barn for them to store our stuff and store our grain and be able to put the animals if we need to quarantine them. We do have the 3 cows. We have 10 chickens, a rooster, 2 ducks, and 5 goats. And we're looking at getting some mini donkeys and maybe some alpacas and some more geese, maybe a couple turkeys. We're looking forward to doing kind of a hybrid 4-H program with our students in an agriculture program and teaching kids how to raise animals, take care of animals. We're going to have them showing animals to judges, just like a 4-H or an FFA. We're very, very excited. The animals are so good for our students' mental health and their social emotional well-being that we are really excited about building this program. And several of the different chapters of the Daughters have been so generous in helping us and providing us with funding for that project and that thing that we're doing, this new program. As far as other needs, it's just students' needs come first. A lot of our kids come from very, very poor, poverty-stricken backgrounds, and sometimes they come with shoes with duct tape wrapped around them and no suitcases at the airport. It's heartbreaking, but we know that with your help and with the community's help, that we can provide those things, that those basic needs that kids need, that they need to have taken care of before they can even think about getting an education. So again, thank you so very, very much. We are so appreciative of everything that you have done for us. And hopefully maybe next year we'll be able to meet in person. But again, thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me to address you. I am so excited about the years to come. And I hope you have a wonderful convention. Thank you.
Warm greetings from Indian Youth of America. My name is Patricia Trudell Gordon. I am the founder and director of Indian Youth of America. I would like to begin by acknowledging your dedication to our Indian youth and our cultures. Pidamiyaye, which is one way we say thank you and means you have pleased me. The Daughters of the American Revolution has definitely pleased Indian Youth of America with your support over the years. I am saddened and disappointed to report that the Whispering Pines camp we lease in Arizona for Indian Youth of America's summer camp program is not opening until August, and then only for day camps. Indian Youth of America's camps are overnight camps due to the long distance our campers have to travel to camp. Campers who attend our camp at Whispering Pines not only come from throughout Arizona, but from other states as well. Thus far, Indian youth from 204 tribes and 34 states have attended IYA's camps. IYA's camps provide a positive connection to culture, which is an important factor for Native youth, and they thrive when programs have a focus on cultural connectedness. IYA's camps have a profound and enduring benefit on Indian youth. The camps benefit their mental health, economic and educational well-being, their sense of family, and a connection to their people, community, and culture. One incentive we provide to IYA campers is to encourage them to return to camp when they are old enough to work as camp staff. When asked why they want to work at IYA's camp, one previous camper wrote on her staff application the following: I want to help make a difference in the life of kids like this camp made in mine. I also want to help teach our culture and learn more about it too. This camp is a life-changing experience. I know this because I attended your camp. It really connects kids to their culture and helps kids realize their potential. It helps kids learn that their situations do not define them. I learned to hoop dance at this camp, and ever since I have been hoop dancing throughout my state, at schools, and on the ice. I also do beadwork, where I make bracelets, daisy chains, chokers, earrings, and belts. I learned these things at camp. This particular camper grew up in several foster homes from the age of 3. One of the foster homes kept her locked in a room. She was finally adopted at the age of 9, which is when she started attending IYA's camps. This is just one example of the impact IYA's camp has on campers. With lives and routines altered by COVID-19, we are striving to find solutions to problems we have not experienced before, as well as keeping our doors open and restoring access to our summer camp programs. In place of our summer camp in Arizona, we are planning to conduct day camps for Indian youth in our Siouxland community, which includes portions of Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. The day camps will provide education and instruction on a traditional stickball game, making hoops, and hoop dancing. We are also collaborating with several organizations to conduct prevention, wellness, and cultural activities for Indian youth in our area. COVID-19 has caused an interruption in our fundraising, which has had a financial impact on our organization. Outside of the Daughters of the American Revolution, we have not actively sought funding for the summer camp program because we did not know for sure if we were going to be able to conduct our summer camps. We deeply appreciate your continued interest in and support of Indian Youth of America. Thank you for inviting me to participate in your Daughters of the American Revolution American Indians meeting. We are looking forward to better days. My people do not say goodbye. So for now, I will say Doksha, which means later on.
Dennis Downs is the nation's foremost trail marker tree researcher and expert. He has dedicated his life to discovering, documenting, researching, and educating the public about these trees and their historical significance. His award-winning book, Native American Trail Marker Trees, Marking Paths Through the Wilderness, is the culmination of the author's more than 3-decade study of this ingenious form of land and water navigation. Shaped by Native Americans, this system existed in our country long before the arrival of the first European settlers. Examples of these landmarks have been found and documented throughout the United States and Canada. Dennis's research and preservation efforts of these man-made marvels have been recognized and honored in official ceremonies by numerous Great Lakes tribal elders. Funded exclusively with proceeds from his art, he has traveled to 42 states and 5 provinces. These trips have inspired both his paintings and his sculptures. His artwork is on permanent display at museums, public libraries, historical societies, and national landmarks, as well as being in many private collections across the country. We are honored to have Dennis speaking to us today on the topic, Tied to the Past, Trail Marker Trees and the DAR.
Hello, I'm Dennis Downs, artist and author, and proud to be presenting Tied to the Past, the Trail Marker Trees and the DAR. For those of you that don't know me, the research has taken nearly 40 years, brought me to 40 states, 5 provinces, gone through 3 Ford pickup trucks, putting 200 to 300,000 miles on each one. After 28 years of the research, the book was published, Native American Trail Marker Trees, Marking Paths Through the Wilderness. That was in 2011. A little on the use, shaping, and importance of the trail marker trees to the Native American community. These trees were shaped intentionally while young saplings because they were of their flexibility and ability to keep their shape for centuries to come, passing on the information that was needed by the Native Americans of the area. The trees guided the Native Americans to things such as exposed mineral deposits, copper deposits, chert deposits, viscous stone that was used in ceremonies, ceremonial events, and shaped into tools that was necessary to their way of life. Also, the trees led to ceremonial sites, burial sites, river crossings, hard bottom river crossings, very important to know during their time period, and portage routes, shortest distance between two bodies of water, giving an advantage to them in their daily life. One of the earliest references to the trail marker trees in our area was the 1838 Federal Survey that specifically mentioned several trail marker trees off of the Green Bay Trail, which led from Fort Dearborn to Green Bay. Bess Dunn is credited with doing one of the first photographic studies. She was also one of the first historians in Lake County, Illinois. An example of this type of photography is on the right-hand side of the screen. This is one of the earliest involvements with the DAR that we have for recorded history. Not only was a plaque placed at one of the trail marker trees in a ceremony in 1911, but Jens Jensen, the famous landscape architect and noted forester, is the man who gave the presentation of the purpose and use of the trail marker trees in our region. This came forward from the 21st Congress of the National Daughters of the American Revolution, and the quote is as follows: "The history of the Indian trail marker trees of the North Shore of Chicago has been known and handed down to 3 generations of early and present American white residents of Chicago and the suburbs, from the Indians themselves, who lived around here until 1838 in large numbers, and when they immigrated west of the Mississippi, a few stayed here for 20 years or more. So the location and the purpose of the Indian trail trees is as much a part of our local history as Fort Dearborn or any other landmark." The Evanston Triple Trunk not only was a significant Indian marker marking their native village in the area, it was so significant that when in its demise, it was actually moved to another park, placed on 3 concrete blocks with a plaque from the DAR explaining its significance, and served as an educational tool for the community for decades to come. A little special thanks to Edith Trutter-Hoff, the regent of the Fort Dearborn chapter, for some of this information. Glencoe. This event by the DAR was a huge event. This event involved DAR member Anna Ickes, whose husband was actually the Secretary of Interior for the United States at the time. This event was attended by Ho-Chunk elders, by Chief Evergreen, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, local historians, and over 100 attendees. As a result of our book being published, Richard Glody's photographic study is now in the possession of Down Studio. The photo on the right shows the event with Chief Evergreen standing on top of the trail marker tree during the blessing ceremony, holding up the ceremonial tobacco. Priceless photograph that now will never disappear. This is another exquisite photograph showing the entire inclusion of the event, from the Native Americans to the local historians, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Priceless photograph. The Exmoor Country Club, a former Potawatomi village site, has a history going back to 1918 in a film clip. Later in 1919 by, again, Jens Jensen, working with local Native American John Longfeather, surveying the grounds, which resulted in identifying the 2 trail markers that still existed on the site at the time. This led to a ceremony in 1935, which honored the trail marker trees with a boulder and a plaque at the actual living trail marker tree that existed at the time. A little later, Chief Thundercloud, Scott T. Williams, Ottawa descent, and relative of Chief Pontiac, and Dr. Raymond Jansen, anthropologist and paleobotanist from Northwestern, together revisiting the site and also visiting 12 other trail marker trees throughout the region. These are actual photographs that were supplied after Hilda Littlefawn Williams came to one of my exhibits in Chicago, clearly showing the trees and the doctor with the chief. This is an example not of the DAR, but of the local people and societies and historical groups that placed also significant signs honoring this concept. Beulah Park, Little Fort chapter of the DAR, going back as far as 1936, did the first ceremonies with the trail marker trees, later in 1985 and in 2001, including the Little Fort chapter and the Potawatomis of the Forest County Potawatomi Reservation. Kanonazo, a historian for the Potawatomi, gave me personal insight to this site and to other sites in the area. Another 1930s event from the Waukegan chapter recognized 2 additional trail marker trees in Lake County. These are examples throughout the country. Obviously, the first one's from New York, very old double trunk trail marker tree, as the sign clearly points out. The center one, again, has had signs added for decades. I'm working in this photograph with the Tracy Reed, Cherokee. Her knowledge of the trail marker trees was learned by her father, the documentarian Gary Donatelli, who's been following my studies for decades, also attended this particular research trip. On the right is one of the oldest representatives of the trail marker trees that are alive, and this is in White County, Indiana. 2 of these trees, same age, same species, lead off of the Tippecanoe River to an exposed copper deposit. That's been recorded for generations. This, thanks to Amy Lou Jenkins, an author doing her own studies on Native Americans, pointed out to me the fact that these 2 trees still existed. Multiple trees passed on multiple information, and a plaque explaining the trees and their significance is still on site, and the trees are still alive in Wisconsin. Alamaki County, Iowa, and the Iowa Magazine did a very nice article on my research in their state. As a result of the article, people like Lee and Andrea submitted this photo and led to many, many other significant discoveries in Iowa. One which being from 1895, a quote regarding the trail marker trees: "Every movement in favor of education and moral improvement met with immediate favor. The budding twig of social and economic life was early bent in the right direction to give value to the tree in the years of its aftergrowth." Definite correlation to the trail marker trees. Proud that they had an understanding going back to the 1800s of the trail marker trees in that state. Moving on to Texas, this is my nephew, Eagle Scout, in 2010 at a triple trunk, similar to our early one we mentioned in Illinois, again, denoting an occupation area by the Indians. The Comanches later recognized this with a proclamation and an event held in Holiday, Texas at the tree. To the right, the Traverse City tree. This particular event you're witnessing in the photo was the result of several trips to the site, giving lectures about the significance in their area to the trees. And I was so grateful that the Grand Rivers Band of Ottawa and Chippewa stepped up, donated the new fence with a new gate, with the boulder, with the inscriptions I helped word, recognizing this particular trail marker tree. And Christine Erickson, the park's executive director, was a big part in putting all of us together so this can never be forgotten and serve as an educational marker. The Warrington County trail marker tree in the Thomas Kennedy chapter. Big tip of the hat to Beverly Wakefield Sants and Janet Hanson Watkins, Gloria Nicole Rodale, and Linda Dunbar. Without them placing this boulder and this plaque at this site and all their hard work, this event wouldn't have taken place. I was very proud to receive the Historic Preservation Recognition Award from the DAR. Council circles, another form of using natural trees to form a meeting place. In other words, they formed living circles large enough to hold ceremonies in the center of. I actually got to go on private property and view one of the last ones in existence in Charlevoix. 8 maples shaped, actually not only shaped in a circle, but bent at 10 feet out in all directions. As a result of this, I did some of my first landscape architect projects. A living council circle in Winnetka, Illinois at Crow Island Park, and another living council circle in Bowen Park on a historic Indian site overlooking Lake Michigan in Waukegan. Both events involve Native Americans doing the shaping of the, or planting of the entrance trees with me. Commemorating trail marker trees for future generations. One of my goals has always been to have bronze sculptures in significant locations with a plaque explaining them, so this concept can never be forgotten. Thanks to one of my hometowns, Antioch, Illinois, and Mayor Hanson, this was achieved in 2018. And what follows is a quote from my longtime assistant, Liz Fox.
The Native American community could not ask for a better friend and supporter. You are gifted, you're a man of passion, tenacity, and integrity. You have pursued a quest that sometimes seems thankless, but we are here today to thank you. You are an honorable man. You are our brother. From Andrew Johnson, Executive Director of the Native American Chamber of Commerce of Illinois.
The following year, another event took place with a 16-foot sculpture done by myself. But the importance of this piece is that it represents one of the 5 trail marker trees that would have marked the portage route between the Des Plaines River and the North Branch of the Chicago River. Again, this event was attended by several Native American tribes. The smudging and dedication ceremony was attended by over 400 individuals and will, again, secure the knowledge of the trail marker trees in the area. At this site also, for 19 consecutive years, we've had the largest trail marker tree exhibit in North America. Educating the future generations. Didn't see this one coming. Proud that it did. I've had the pleasure of working now and giving lectures to several grade school, high school groups. The first left-hand photo and the bottom one represent work in Green Bay with Mayor Schmidt going on for a decade, involving Jim Jordan, a historian up there. The bottom picture shows a trail marker tree shaped and sculpted by the local Cub Scouts out of paper representing one of the known trail marker trees. The Sears School up above, again, multiple lectures over the years. The Gems Academy School, the bottom right, in the Chicago area. Again, giving them knowledge of the trail trees and the American Indian involvement in their community. And the last center picture bottom, very enthusiastic trail marker tree advocate. His father has taken him to numerous trail marker tree sites in Illinois. And he was very excited at the book signing at Barnes & Noble when I signed the book personally to him. I want to thank the DAR and specifically the American Indians Committee. I'm honored to have been selected and invited to do this presentation by a group that's had a significant impact on the study and preservation of the trail marker trees for everyone. Again, what will follow, read by Liz Fox, is one of the earlier quotes by Executive Director Andrew Johnson when he was involved with the American Indian Center in Chicago, Illinois.
The Native American trail marker trees are historical links to our past and were part of the daily lives of many original inhabitants. Our community is indebted to Dennis Downs for his important and inspiring efforts to discover, properly identify, and preserve these trees throughout the United States. We are honored by his commitment and support his tireless work.
One more significant part of the study was that for 150 minimum public art shows, private art shows, solo art shows, as part of these events, I had a small trail marker tree exhibit and sometimes a small bronze sculpture. Every year, up until the book was published, we printed a paper that was copied and handed out at all of my lectures, all of my shows across the country and even in Scotland. This helped to spread the word across the country, going back now 30 years ago, well before a lot of the information was ever even brought up about the trail marker trees. So again, couldn't be happier to do this presentation and be invited to be the speaker. Thanks again.
What a wonderful program, Dennis. Thank you for your dedication, perseverance, and resiliency over these 70-plus years. Your dedicated and focused work in researching and chronicling the story of Native Americans and their land and water navigation methods through nature is a proud legacy for our future generations. I would also like to extend a thank you to Beverly Sines, a member of the Thomas Kennedy chapter in Missouri, who with great enthusiasm and jubilance introduced me to Dennis and his lifetime of work. As we near the end of our program, I would like to take a few moments to share some thoughts and accomplishments. In the words of John Lennon, nobody told me there'd be days like these, strange days indeed. Yet with the unwavering leadership and courage of our President General, this committee has forged forward, 1 foot and 1 mask at a time. The committee awarded 5 $4,000 scholarships to James Fackrell of Florida, Kanan Galbraith of Texas, Haley Irvin of Washington State, Teresa Kaltenbach of Tennessee, and Casey Freeman of Texas. Also, the Francis Crawford Marvin Scholarship in the amount of $3,500 will be distributed to Lexi Snyder of Arizona. In January of this year, the President General made an official visit to Bacone College, as 2021 marks a 75-year relationship between DAR and this Native American institution of higher learning. The Haskell Indian Nation University will be the recipient of this year's grant in support of returning students' mental and physical health as they shift back to an on-campus lifestyle. In 1 year since the committee's Facebook page inception, our viewership has exceeded 400 followers. Additionally, $34,000 total in scholarships has been distributed between Bacone College, Chemawa Indian School, and Indian Youth of America. Furthermore, another $52,500 in support of various projects is being distributed to these three institutions as well. Lastly, please take a moment to visit the online auction and help us reach our funding goal of $10,000 in support of the American Indian Fund. Thank you for joining us today. I hope each of you have learned something for yourself, your chapter, your state, and most importantly, your community. Sandra Walker will now offer the blessing before we go our ways and enjoy the remainder of the 130th Virtual Continental Congress events.
Grandfather, Great Spirit, once more behold me on earth and lean to hear my feeble voice. You lived first. You are older than all prayer and all need. All things belong to you. The two-legged, the four-legged, the wings of the air, and all green things that live. You have set the powers of the four quarters of the earth to cross each other. You have made me cross the good road and the road of difficulties. And where they cross, the place is holy. Day in, day out, forevermore, you are the life of things. Lean to hear my feeble voice. At the center of the sacred hoop, you have said that I should make the tree to bloom. With tears running, O Great Spirit, my grandfather, with running eyes, I must say, the tree has never bloomed. Here I stand, and the tree is withered. Again, I recall the great vision you gave me. It may be that some little root of that sacred tree still lives. Nourish it then, that it may leaf and bloom and be filled with singing birds. Hear me that the people may once again find the good road and the sheltering tree.
Thank you. If you have any questions, please direct them to the chair, Suzanne Heskey, at suzanne.heskey@syneoshealth.com. Bless you.